I had roughly about a 40% plus hike in salary. So essentially, I saw that ROI in my first paycheck, of course. So it was pretty much immediate ROI for me. My name is Paul. I am currently based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm an engineer. My background is in engineering, but then over the last several years, I've been essentially into sales, business development, enterprise software sales, helping customers realize revenue, etc. About 6 to 7 years ago, and it was essentially a time when I was looking at a new job opportunity. I was looking at rebranding myself. I knew my resume needed a full change. My LinkedIn profile needed a full changeover, and so I engaged with the services, and it was a full transformation for me. Essentially, my LinkedIn profile before that was essentially just something that was created in 5 to 10 minutes, but then I had a full makeover. My resume was also really good, and I must say, after having the service completed or the engagement, when I submitted those resumes to a lot of opportunities, I was able to immediately get calls back. I was able to be part of certain interviews and some really good opportunities. And I'm really happy to say, after getting my profile completely done in just about a month, I guess, I was able to land a new opportunity. This is about 6 to 7 years ago. So I was really happy, really excited and delighted that I had the opportunity to meet with Fabian and his team and have a full profile rebranding done. I appreciate it. But for me, what was more interesting was before having that done, right, with my traditional resume, I was not able to even get interview calls. But then when I had the full rebranding done, I was essentially getting a lot of interview calls, meeting with a lot of organizations about potential roles. And then I did essentially land a job in about a month's time. So the organization that I was working with, after I spent about 4 years with them, they had to undergo a massive restructuring as part of an acquisition. So that was the time I decided that, probably have to look out for another opportunity which fits well. And again, I used the same profile. Of course, I made a few edits to include my latest experience onto the same profile that was created by Fabian's team previously. And again, it was really good for me. The experience was very good. I was able to see that, again, I was able to get interview calls a lot more. I had a lot of interview calls, and then again, I was able to land an opportunity in about a month and a half or so, I would say, after I started searching. So the very same resume that I had helped me the second time, and it was successful. I would definitely, by all means, recommend exploring the service or going ahead with it. And this is personal experience twice, right? Before having the full rebranding done, I wasn't able to land essentially any interviews for that matter. Every opportunity that gets opened up in the market, there's, hundreds of candidates that apply for certain positions. And part of that, a lot of organizations have started removing the human element, and a lot of it gets done automatically through ATSs. And if you really need to get in through all of this traffic and all of these candidates, you potentially really need to have a very good profile, a very good resume that highlights essentially what your strengths are, and most importantly, how would you be able to value add to this organization. So I would suggest that you really need to have your profile done very well in order to cross all these barriers and essentially land those interviews. It is extremely important. I would highly recommend it. I've as a person who's experienced this firsthand, I would definitely recommend it. The first month, essentially, I had my ROI because I had a really good improvement. And I probably should have mentioned this earlier. The new opportunity that I landed about 6 to 7 years ago with the support and rebranding done by ExcellenceResumes, I had roughly about a 40% plus hike in salary. So essentially, I saw that ROI in my first paycheck, of course. So it was pretty much immediate ROI for me.